Not far from where Charlton Heston and I grew up is a training ground for the Michigan militia.
Why do you use the bowling pins?
From self-defense or whatever tactical standpoint, it's a small target that closely represents the vitals on a human being should you ever have to shoot at one.
The Michigan militia became known around the world when on April 19, 1995, two guys living in Michigan who had attended militia meetings, Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols, blew up the federal building in Oklahoma City, killing 168 people. The Michigan militia wanted everyone to know that they were nothing like McVeigh and Nichols.
This is an American tradition. It's an American responsibility to be armed. If you're not armed, you're not responsible. Who's going to defend your kids? The cops? The federal government?
No, none of them.
It's your job to defend you and yours. If you don't do it, you're in dereliction of duty as an American, period.
And we're just here to let them know that, hey, we're here to help. We're not the boogeymen that we're made out to be. We're here to help and defend the people of this country.
I'm sure you guys are the kind of people that people would like to have as their neighbor. If somebody's in need, you're there to help them.
Yeah, pretty much. And we're all normal people. We all have regular jobs, professions, and this is what we do on our own time.
What kind of job do you have?
I'm a draftsman.
Draftsman, how about you?
Unemployed right now.
Unemployed? Frank, what do you do for a living?
I work for a heat treating company. I drive truck for them.
Okay, how about you?
I'm a real estate negotiator.
Real estate negotiator.
White collar all the way.
You don't bring that with you, though, do you? When you're negotiating the real estate?
No.
All right. What do you live in, suburban Detroit?
Westland.
You live in Westland. So what do you have in your home?
Smith & Wesson 9mm.
9mm.
Yeah.
How about you?
With hollow points.
12 gauge. 12 gauge at home?
Yep.
How about you?
M16.
At home?
Yep.
Yeah.
At the ready.
Huh?
I don't agree with that because you got to worry about where your rounds are going. Do you have frangibles in it?
I know where they're going to go when I aim and shoot.
Whose idea was the calendar?
Well, that would probably be Kristen. Picture's worth 1,000 words. I mean, it's not. A, it demonstrates a level of sophistication that you wouldn't expect out of militia. B, you know, we're people too.
Right.
And we have a lot of fun with it.
Right.
It was a fundraiser. It showed that we're not so serious. You know, we're not these conspiracy nuts who wouldn't want our pictures get out. You know, and at the end, it was a fun fundraiser. You know.
I've had guns. Pretty much since I was old enough to have them.
Yeah.
And I learned how to use them. You're silly. Because being a female, number one, I felt it was important to be able to protect myself with the best means possible. And one of those means is having a gun. When a criminal breaks into your house, who's the first person you're going to call? Most people will call the police because they have guns. Cut out the middleman. Take care of it. Take care of your own family yourself. If you're not going to protect your family, who is?
We're not racist. We're not extremists. We're not fundamentalists. We're not terrorists or militants or none other such nonsense.
Citizens.
We're just concerned citizens. We have a desire to fulfill our responsibilities and duties as Americans, and armed citizenry is part of that.
That's why I wish again that I was in Michigan down on the farm.
What do you grow here?
Well, right now there's tofu beans there, soybeans. Tofu soybeans.
You're a tofu farmer.
Yeah. Food farmer. I'm a food farmer.
Food.
I grow food for people to eat, you know. No herbicides, no pesticides on that stuff.
Right.
You know, so.
All natural.
Right.
Yeah. Better.
Certified organic.
Healthier.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
This is James Nichols, the brother of Terry Nichols. James graduated from high school the same year I did in the district next to mine. On this farm in Decker, Michigan, McVeigh and the Nichols brothers made practice bombs before Oklahoma City. Terry and James were both arrested in connection to the bombing.
U.S. attorneys formally linked the Nichols brothers of Michigan with Oklahoma bomb suspect Timothy McVeigh. Officials charged James, who was at the hearing, and Terry, who was not, with conspiring to make and possess small bombs.
Terry Nichols was convicted and received a life sentence. Timothy McVeigh was executed. But the feds didn't have the goods on James, so the charges were dropped.
I'm just glad to be out and free so I can get on with my life.
Did Timothy McVeigh ever stay here?
Yes. Yes. He stayed here several times. for the longest period, about 3 months or so, I don't know. But he was a nice guy.
Decent guy.
Oh, yeah.
So they didn't find anything on this farm?
As to what? Bomb-making
Any
material?
kind of explosives?
Yeah, I had blasting caps, dynamite blasting caps, dynamite fuse, black powder, you know, for muzzle loaders, and sure, diesel fuel, fertilizer, but that is normal farm stuff. That is no way connected any way whatsoever to the Oklahoma City bombing or bomb making. Them people, law enforcement, if you want to call them that, were here and they were shaking in their shoes. They were physically shaking, scared to death.
Of?
Because they thought this was going to be another Waco. Because certain people, namely my ex-wife and other people, said, I'm a radical, I'm a wild man, I got a gun under every arm, down every leg, and every shoe, every corner of the house. You say anything to me, I'll shoot you. If the people find out how they've been ripped off and enslaved in this country by the government, by the powers to be, they will revolt with anger, with merciless anger. There'll be blood running in the streets. When the government turns tyrannical, it is your duty to overthrow it.
Well, why not use Gandhi's way? He didn't have any guns, and he beat the British Empire.
I'm not familiar with that.
Oscoda has a bad habit of raising psychos. Bad habit of it.
This is Brent, and this is his buddy DJ. They live in Oscoda, Michigan, across the bay from the Nichols farm. Eric Harris, who would later go on to commit the massacre at Columbine High School in Colorado, spent part of his childhood here. Eric lived on the Air Force Base in Oscoda, where his dad flew planes during the Gulf War. 20% of all the bombs dropped in that war were from planes that took off from Oscoda. I asked Brent if he remembered anything about Eric.
I never knew him, but I knew of him. He left here before I got here. I've only lived here, like I said, about 7 years off and on.
He's about the same age as you, so you must have people in your class that...
Yeah, like a friend of mine, he knows him. He was in class with him. He's lived up here all of his life.
I went to school with him, and it shocked me to hear it on the news. You know, that especially a kid from here would be doing that.
I didn't last too long in this high school up here. I got kicked out. I got expelled.
Why was that?
I had a run-in with a kid one time, and I pulled a weapon on him, pulled a gun on him.
A gun?
Yeah.
What kind of gun?
9mm. I could have made a mess out of that situation.
Could have been worse.
Could have been a lot worse.
You could have been Eric Harris.
Could have been.
So they kicked you out of school?
Yeah, they kicked me out for 380 days, or 165 days, whatever a full school year is.
Matter of fact, for the longest time, that's what my plans was, is to move out to Colorado.
Colorado?
Because I've got, family out there. And matter of fact, one of my uncles is a janitor for Columbine School.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, after Columbine, what was it like here in Oscoda?
My name was second highest on the bomb list because of the reputation you get in this town.
Why? Why was your name... You mean they did a list of...
Of the suspects.
Of students who potentially...
Yeah.
Would call in a bomb threat
Yes.
after Columbine? And you were number 2 on the list?
I was pretty much like second or third on the list, yeah.
Why is that?
Because the whole fact is, like I said, this town really gets people down.
Yeah, but why did they single you out?
Because I was a troubled kid. And,
Were you in trouble in school?
Oh, yeah.
But why did they put you, number 2, on their list after Columbine of the students that could be a threat? There must be a reason.
Well, okay. The thing is I have a thing, it's called the Anarchist Cookbook. It shows you how to make bombs and stuff like that in it. If there's anything that went wrong, they're going to come to me first, and I don't need that.
Just because you owned a copy of the book?
Just because I own a copy.
Never made a bomb yourself?
Nope. Oh, as in I've made them.